talk about what is overthrowing. We had an athlete come in, and his coach told him that he was overthrowing, but he didn't understand what that meant.
Yeah, definitely. And before we get into it, drop in the comments below. I'm sure every athlete that has played baseball has heard that term, or pitchers, right, exclusively, have heard the term they're overthrowing. So drop in the comments what that means to you, and let's get started with it.
Let's do it.
The term overthrowing has been used since I've started playing baseball about, 16 years ago?
Plus even farther back than that.
Yeah, and the funniest part about it is that pitchers are only overthrowing when what? They're throwing balls, right? Mm-hmm. So you never hear a coach saying, "Oh, you're overthrowing if you're striking out every single guy and throwing it down the middle," right? When has any analyst said, "Oh, Aroldis Chapman's overthrowing," right? If they did, it might have been because he walked 2 guys.
Yeah, or throw 3 balls in a row. But just going off of that, balls and strikes, is that a ball versus a strike is a very small amount.
Yeah, exactly. 1 inch in the change of arc release can mean you're throwing a ball down the middle or into the dirt or even over the head, right? So if I release back here, strike, ball, ball. It's that tiny difference that creates a ball or a strike.
Yeah.
So how are we just saying, "Oh, you're overthrowing"? So the problem is that these coaches have been taught by their coaches, right? And they said, "Oh, you're overthrowing. That's why you're throwing balls." So what are the coaches, or what are the students, what are they more
apt to do?
Yeah, apt to tell their kids.
Yeah.
They're going to tell them they're overthrowing.
And before that, like when someone tells you you're overthrowing, what does that mean? So when you were younger, if someone told you you're overthrowing, what does that mean to you? What did you think it meant?
First of all, it meant that I was trying to throw the ball too hard, right? And then what do you do in response to that? Yeah. Slow everything down, right? So the issue there is that we know that a change from a ball to strike is just a tiny bit of an arc. So why does that have to do anything with throwing velocity?
Yeah. I just think it's an easy out. Just say, hey, I'm overthrowing because it looks like, hey, you're trying to giddy up and maybe there's 2 strikes and it looks like you're just trying to put more effort into it. But it could be hey, my release point's different, so then the ball's going to be down. Because my sequencing is off.
Yes. And it's the whole idea behind oh, you're the coach, you should have the answer, right? So instead of the coach actually searching and doing research and doing hours of research to find the right answer, he just says what?
Yeah, you're overthrowing because you're pulling the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
You're pulling the ball to your glove side, so it's low and away.
Exactly. So the kids are going to think, "Oh, okay, I'm overthrowing. That's the answer," and they're not going to go find the actual answer.
So if I tell you you're overthrowing because of your velocity jumped, but we can't even tell that because how many radar guns are actually in the stands, or how many high-speed cameras are videoing every single pitch that people are taking to see the biomechanics.
To verify that they're actually throwing harder.
Probably not. It's not happening.
So the actual issue, and there's a false causality going on, is that, okay, they're throwing at 1 speed, okay, 1 speed, 1 speed, 1 speed, so a consistent release point, and then once they throw a little bit higher or perceive that's higher and they throw a ball, what's the difference? The whole sequence changes, so what changes? The release point. Okay, so that's the issue. The issue isn't trying to throw too hard. The issue is the inconsistency of the release point. So instead of telling these students or these athletes, "Hey, you're overthrowing," it's no, you're inconsistent with your release point. Okay, so by telling them overthrowing, it tells them to throw slower. And we know the only bar to entry to get to the next level is what?
Is velocity.
Velocity. So instead of telling these kids they're overthrowing, you should say, "Hey, instead of overthrowing for 1 pitch, let's work on staying at that intent."
Consistently.
Yes. So if we can stay at that higher intent, so that overthrowing phase or that sequence you're using, you need to stay there to create consistency not only in the movement but in your release point.
Because what have studies shown, or what have we seen, that when people start to slow their mechanics down, what starts to happen? First part, and second part is, where do they create the velocity from?
So first of all, when you slow your body down, okay, you're not going to get as much force going in the front foot. And we know if we don't have as much force going in the front foot, our chest is not going to get out nearly as much. And what's going to happen to their arm?
It's going to kind of get this horizontal adduction, and then we're releasing out in front.
So major cause of injury. Okay, so first of all, by telling these kids they're overthrowing and telling them they're slow, they're going to get hurt.
Yeah, because they're not initiating force from the ground up. They're initiating it from your arm.
Exactly. So the issue is, one, right, it's a performance enhancer, right? So we're slowing everything down to throw softer, and it's way easier to hit a slow fastball than a fast fastball, right? And then second of all, you're going to hurt yourself. So this cue of telling people, oh, you're overthrowing, is not the correct cue. I would rather have coaches say, hey, when you're throwing slower, you're underthrowing.
Yeah, because we want to be efficient with our biomechanics and have our body be in a good position. Mm-hmm. That's the big thing, and that's what it should be said instead of saying overthrowing. Overthrowing is just an easy phrase to say to someone because you're throwing balls or you're not consistent.
And you're expected to answer instead of saying, hey, you know what? I don't know why you're throwing balls right now. I'll go look at it, or I'll go find someone who knows the answer. No, it's this old idea of, oh, I need to have an answer. I need to have an answer to this. I need to have an answer. Instead of saving the ego and saying, I don't know. I can look into it. Yeah, I can look into it. Or, you know what? I need slow speed camera.
I need to put it in slow motion.
Or high speed camera.
Yeah, to see it in that slow motion.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, comment below, because everyone has heard what is overthrowing. Yeah. And there really isn't an answer. Like, there's no, like, hey, like, I don't even know what that means. Yeah. So that's an issue. So comment, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to anyone about it. So you got anything to add?
That's it. You know, the biggest thing is it's not overthrowing. It's inconsistency in the release point. That's why you're throwing balls, not because you're trying to throw the ball too hard. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So reach out to us, please. Baseball specific training, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We'd like to hear from you.